Thank you, Trustee Stead and trustees. I want to welcome Miss Carrie Beal, Principal Carrie Beal of Allen Elementary, and with her is Miss Kit Flynn, who's been stepping in from retirement to assist on this project. And then also Mr. Kevin Stansberry, Mr. Dick Mitchell from Mitchell Moat. If you guys will come right on down front, I'm going to set the table with an introduction, trustees, if that sounds all right. And then you have the full report. I know that Ms. Osinski will open this so that members of the community and anyone who's interested may take a look at the full report. I will also share here at the beginning that we are looking forward tomorrow evening to being with the Allen community, our little team, to share this same presentation with the parents and the community. So just to begin, as Trustee Stead pointed out, it was on August 18th that the flood event occurred at Allen Elementary. It happened, we discovered it in the evening, and so by the time we discovered it, water was throughout the building, and you'll see more pictures and hear more about that. The late August, early September, trustees, you'll recall that our work was very focused. It was focused on stabilizing the situation at Allen, rehabbing the impact of the water on that environment, determining quickly a temporary location for the building, and then coordinating the move over to Allen West. And so just over 2 weeks after the event, we opened school on time on September 6th. On that Tuesday following Labor Day. So that was the first chapter of this journey. Then over September and October, now I want to remind everyone that we were not able to get to the assessment until the move out of the building was completed because the teams of engineers needed the activity to be finished in the building, so we had to get the move done. But starting about mid-September, all the way through the end of October, we've had teams of engineers in the building and lots of professionals to fully assess the damage. We've asked Mitchell Moat and these fine individuals who are with us this evening to head up the team to determine best how to repair the damage. Part of what they've been doing is designing a new route for the water pipe because we knew that it should not remain under the building. So that work is in progress now. And pretty early on, at the direction of the trustees, we heard from you all that we should just look at if there are enhancements that we could accomplish within our budget restrictions and within the time frame, because we certainly have as our top goal is getting our Allen community back home to their beautiful Allen building. Finally, we wanted to get a timeline in place, a realistic timeline for repairs, restoration, and then focus on the occupancy. So we had these values. Principal Beal came over and met with our cabinet. I think it was just 3 or 4 days after the flood, and we talked about our core values that would drive our work on this project. And I remember that we said right away, in fact, in the parking lot, Principal Beal and Miss Linden and several of us were out in the parking lot that night, and the first request was, whatever you do, keep us together. We want to stay together. So we were able to do that. Situate the school community. We could tell Mitchell Moat team, even the lay folk among us could tell that first night that this wasn't a quick vacuum up the water and reopen the building. We knew right away that it was probably going to take us a little period of time. Thirdly, we wanted to make sure that the educational experience and the services for all of our students continued at the highest quality possible. We didn't want it to be diminished at all. And then we want to provide as much support as we possibly could throughout the process. So those were kind of our values. And trustees, this evening, we're setting up to ask you for discussion and, if possible, a decision. And here are your decision points. The repairs of the damage to the building, we're very fortunate that we have good insurance coverage. And so we don't have a price on that tonight. I will say that it's significant because there's a lot of work to be done there. All of that is covered under our insurance. So the replacing of the stuff from inside the building, the repainting of the walls that were damaged, the fixing of the leaning wall, all of that stuff, I've named it the leaning wall, all of that stuff is covered under the insurance policy. Now, the redesign of the water pipe, and our team from Mitchell Moat is going to walk you through all of this, so you don't have to worry. They'll explain it much better than I. But the redesign of the water pipe really is on our expense. And the way the insurance company says it is they would pay to fix the pipe under the building. They won't pay to move the pipe. So that will be our expense. The enhancement package, and this is, we said to Mitchell Moat, would you just bring us something that will, we're so excited to bring this community back home. It is a beautiful building already, but what could we do to make it even a little better? So the package they're going to share with you this evening involves the kind of ceiling tile that you saw at Mitchell 2 weeks ago, the new ceiling tiles, the suspended lighting, new paint, some redesign of the office and media center. Nothing major, but just Principal Bill and Miss Linden have figured out a couple of little adjustments, one of them around the story steps that were built a few decades ago and were just right back then, but now we have an opportunity to make it a little better. That package is about $800,000, and again, our team will articulate more detail. The next part of it is about air conditioning, and so you're going to see 3 levels of air conditioning possibilities. The lowest one is the $1.2 million that I have here. Now, one of our challenges, as Mitchell Moat lays out this timeline, is we had about 12 days, 13 days to get them moved over there. That was a 24/7 operation, as you all remember. To move them back, we are going to need to expedite that move. So Ms. Linden has worked with her bond advisory, and there is the idea that if we ordered new furniture out of our 2015 bond, we could have that furniture sitting in the Allen building and so expedite their move. So that is another piece of it that would come out of the bond money. So let's talk about the advantages, and then quickly I'll turn this over to Mitchell Moat so you get a great, more technical look here. First of all, the advantage of the enhancements. The flood event chapter of Allen Elementary School, their theme this year was Choose Your Own Adventure. And I think their adventure chose them. And so the beauty of the enhancements, if the board is willing this evening, is that it would end this chapter by bringing them back home, that home would be polished up and sparkled up. Beautiful building and a beautiful community. Secondly, as we said, the ordering of the new furniture would expedite a timely move within the tight constraints. And we are looking, trustees, this evening, we are hoping and looking towards spring break, that first week in April. Thirdly, as we look at our buildings that are air conditioned and are available to us for summer programming, we have King, and we have Logan to the north. We do not have an air-conditioned facility in the south or in the southeast. Now, we just added the 6 classrooms at Mitchell, and those are air-conditioned. Thanks, trustees, for helping us with that. But the Mitchell summer program is very robust. So typically, that's the partnership with U of M, and those programs are very full. So getting air conditioning at Allen, if the board moves in that direction, would give us the opportunity to move summer programming right into an area where there's need for that. The decision this evening, if the board is willing, does allow opportunity. The Mitchell-Moat team are concerned, as are we, that over November, December, and January, things get a little harder sometime with timing and with weather. So we do want to try to be ahead of the curve rather than worrying about making our timeline. So here are the questions that our team is coming to answer for us this evening. First of all, what happened? And we've had lots of professionals in the building. What happened in the Allen event on August the 18th? Secondly, how do we fix it? Thirdly, what is the timeline for those repairs? When will we plan to return to the building with these students and staff? What will the repairs cost? And who's going to pay for what part of those repairs? And then finally, at the board's request, what are the reasonable enhancements in light of our current budget and our timeline that we could accomplish for this community? So let's think about our next steps following this discussion this evening. Mitchell and Moat will be sharing the report this evening, and I should have added to that top bullet, sharing the report this evening with our Board of Education and sharing the report tomorrow evening with our Allen parents and community. And again, that meeting is at Pattongill. It is at Pattongill at 5:30, so we're looking forward to being with our parents tomorrow evening with that community. Secondly, we'll be requesting a board decision regarding the next steps in repair, restoration, and what level of enhancement is reasonable within our constraints. Thirdly, we would ask that the staff begin working, Principal Beal, Miss Linden, Miss Flynn, the M&M team, working to make their selections, because we have to be organized. The furniture, I think, often is a 3-month delivery, and I think other items that we need to order, the shelves for the media center, some of those have pretty extensive turnaround times. So you guys are going to have to get busy once we have the board vote to make your selections. Next, we believe that Mitchell-Moat will complete the bulk of the project by the end of March, but you will notice in your booklet on their timeline that there are some items that they will need the summer for. And one of those items is air conditioning. That is not going to be an April 1st item. That will be over the summertime that they will get that part done. We will begin to plan for the move back to Allen. And that we are hoping to have occur over the spring break week. Now, in order for that to occur, we will ask that students not report for class on the 2 days before spring break and the 2 days after spring break. Now, we have worked with MDE. We are in conversation with them. They feel pretty confident that this is a good request. It is a worthwhile request. We do have the 5 days or 6 days that are quote unquote act of God days. And yet we are watching through the winter to see how many days we use for snow. But we did receive assurance from them today that these days, which would allow our teachers to pack on one side and then to unpack on the other side of their spring break week. And we would use that spring break week to get all the things in place from one place to the other. Our goal then would be to resume our classes in a restored Allen Elementary School, to bring our Allen community home to their school beginning on April 12th, Wednesday, April 12th, 2017. Now, we do need to say, just because we know that sometimes things happen, if there were some delay, although our team will share that they don't anticipate that, but if there were, our backup would be for the mid-June time frame. And of course, if we have to go there, we will, but we are hoping to have it occur over spring break. So here's a picture. Our goal there is to go back to our Allen Elementary, have all of our students, our staff, our community, about 415 students back in their home at Allen Elementary.